We are following breaking news from Highland Park. That's where Detroit police have tracked a suspect wanted for the abduction of a baby and a toddler.
We're told that suspect is the mother of the 8-month-old and 2-year-old, but does not have custody. The children were abducted around 7:30 this morning from a home on Snowden. We're told communication with the suspect during this barricaded situation at John R. and 6 Mile has been unsuccessful.
We are extremely concerned about the victim and the children. We'd like to also add that we have resources available to the victim and the children, so we'd like to bring a peaceful resolution to this. If the suspect is listening, we would ask her to step out, and we will provide her with the resources that she needs.
Of course, we are all hoping for a peaceful resolution. Stay with Fox 2 on air and online for updates on this developing story. Also tonight on The Edge, it's the break in the case we've waited nearly 2 months for, charges in the murder of Detroit synagogue leader Samantha Woll.
Initially, police believed that the suspect may have been someone she knew. That is not the case. Fox 2's Jessica Dupnack joining us live now with new details in this high-profile crime. Jessica.
Amy and Roop, I think that we're all just processing exactly what we learned earlier today from the prosecutor and the police chief. I think for a long time we assumed that the murderer was in the inner circle of Samantha Woll, especially when you look at the manner of death. She was stabbed to death. So to learn today that it was a complete stranger that was actually doing car break-ins in her neighborhood before she was killed, it's all very shocking.
This is an extraordinarily sad and tragic case.
For almost 2 months, the tips poured in, and so did the theories. In the end, investigators say a stranger to Samantha Woll killed her in a break-in at her home that turned homicide.
This is not a case that you can solve like on television, where you 30-45 minutes into the storyline, you know who did what and how the case is going to end.
Wayne County prosecutor Kim Worthy standing beside Detroit's top cop announcing charges against 28-year-old Michael Jackson Bolanos, the Detroit man charged with murder, breaking and entering and lying to police, remanded to custody Wednesday. The suspect was arrested by DPD a few weeks ago, but not in connection to Samantha Woll's murder. Instead, car break-ins at the Joliet Place townhomes where Sam lived and was killed, happening the same night back in October.
And then when we brought him in on questioning on those larcenies, we got into some other parts of the investigation. Some concerns came up.
But he timed out, meaning not enough evidence for charges at that time. Police said to let him go, but Chief James White says not without close watch.
We knew where he was, we knew his whereabouts, we knew his movements. At no time was anyone in our community at risk.
They kept tabs on his work and his cell phone traffic, all culminating in enough evidence to make an arrest earlier this week, charged Wednesday afternoon. The working theory is that on October 21st, Jackson Bolanos broke into Sam's home while she was inside. A confrontation occurred and he stabbed her multiple times. Sam staggered out the door where she fell on the sidewalk, discovered by neighbors hours later. Investigators and prosecutor Worthy maintain the synagogue leader's murder was not a hate crime.
There are no facts to suggest that this defendant knew Ms. Walls, and there are certainly no facts to suggest that this was a hate crime.
Taking a look at the suspect's past, his priors in particular, he does have them. He did 2 stints in prison for receiving and concealing stolen property involving a vehicle. As far as any other priors, at least here in Michigan, he does not have them. But a positive day here at Detroit Police. All eyes were on this case internationally, and Detroit's police chief said they are confident in their suspect. We will, of course, continue to follow this story as it moves through the courts. Reporting live downtown Detroit, Jessica Dupnack on The Edge.
Jessica, it's all so sad and so senseless. We do know that they had taken someone else into custody a couple weeks ago and let that person go. This was an arrest from someone on the other side of the state, the west side of the state. That person, we understand now, had nothing to do with this. Is that correct?
That is correct, and sources told me at that time that this was somebody in Samantha Woll's inner circle that was arrested. It very much tracked what we'd heard earlier in the investigation, but he was held for that 72 hours, released. At this point, they are not looking at that person again as a suspect, but as far as anyone else, the police chief left that open-ended. He said more to come in court.
And we know you will follow it. Thank you so much, Jessica Dupnack. As always, we appreciate you. And also charged today, the parents of a 5-year-old boy who died after finding a gun in his home and accidentally shooting himself.
Halisa Brown and Sterling Minion Sr. now facing several charges, including involuntary manslaughter. Minion is out on bond and told Fox 2 his version of what happened.
I had a call that my son had got shot, and I came fast as I could because I was down there doing maintenance. I do maintenance through all of these down here, all around here, and I got a call. When I got here, the mother was up there already pre-holding my son on the ground. Getting the gun in her name, everything, like it was her firearm. She must have had it misplaced it for them to be able to get access to it.
Did you know why there was a firearm in the house?
I know she had purchased one some time back. I don't know why I couldn't be around them because I just got off of papers with like probation for it, so I can't be around no firearms.
Did she ever say why she wasn't at the house?
No, they stated that something about her being at a friend's house.
Minion wanted to speak out about this tragedy to let people know he's a working father who's trying to provide for his family. He tells us they've all suffered a devastating loss. He called his son Sterling Jr. his best friend. Corewell Health is restricting visitors for pediatric patients at some of its largest hospitals.
This is due to a rise in respiratory disease. At this point, patients 21 years and younger will only be able to have 2 visitors during the day and 1 overnight at Troy, Royal Oak, and Dearborn hospitals. There's not necessarily, they tell us, a surge in respiratory infections compared to previous years, but emergency rooms and urgent cares are seeing an uptick in patients. Doctors recommend getting RSV vaccines for infants, older patients, and pregnant women. And a revamp could be coming to Detroit's trash pickup.
Mayor Mike Duggan hopes to provide weekly service across the board. Duggan outlined his proposed plan tonight for the next 5-year trash contracts. Now, right now, Detroit residents have recycling, bulk trash, and yard waste picked up every other week. The proposal would change that to every week instead, just like regular trash.
We're trying to raise the level of trash service that Detroiters get in their neighborhoods. And as suburbanites know, your recycling is picked up every week on garbage day. Your bulk is picked up every week on garbage day. I think it'll dramatically reduce garbage in the city neighborhoods, and I think it's what Detroiters have been waiting for.
Now, in addition, the new plan would replace GFL with priority waste, serving the east side and southwest Detroit. Ultimately, Detroit City Council will decide on this proposal in January. Well, a traffic alert to pass along to you tonight for drivers who use 696.
There will be several projects over the next 2 days. For westbound drivers, there will only be 1 lane open on 696 from Telegraph to 275 for pavement markings. Also, ramps to 696 from the northbound Lodge, southbound Telegraph, and Orchard Lake Road will all be closed. The closures are scheduled for tomorrow and Friday from 7 a.m. until 3 p.m.
Well, if all you wanted for Christmas was mild weather in December, guess what? Your wishes are coming true.
Yeah, we could even see 50 degrees by the end of the week. Rich Luderman has our forecast.
Amy, no complaints, no rain or snow either. Our next storm is way out west. This is going to end up being a big soaker for Florida, believe it or not. High temperatures for us today with some sun, 38 here, 41 in Grand Rapids. Right now, it is chilly out there, but we have partly cloudy to mostly clear skies. 21 Ann Arbor, 30 out there in Howell. The breeze is very light from the south and west, so wind chills are not that terribly harsh. How about 23 in Marquette, 33 in Chicago? There's 28 down in Pittsburgh. High pressure keeps us high and dry for the next few days through the weekend. It is going to be milder on Friday, and we have a good chance to get up near 50 degrees for the rest of tonight. Cold and dry on average, down to 24. Tomorrow, 45. And then we go up to 51 on Friday. More clouds for the weekend, even into the middle of next week. No big storms of significance for us. A full check at 4 a.m. Roop, Amy, back to you.
All right. Thank you, Rich. Well, it is known as the most wonderful time of the year, and a Macomb Township teen loves to spread his Christmas cheer.
He does it pretty darn good at it, too. Check out these pictures. But some vandals try to kill his spirit and his decorations. But as Fox 2's Scott Wolchek tells us tonight, this teen just came back stronger.
I must stop Christmas from coming.
Feeling festive? Farrell Drive in Macomb Township has transformed into a winter wonderland. The mastermind behind it all is Brody Wesley. He's only 16.
I started like 7 years ago. My dad put lights on the roof just then, and I took it to a different level.
That's an understatement. This isn't even your house.
No, it's my neighbor's house, but I decorate.
He's taken over the block with Santas, Grinches, Rudolph, Jack Frost, blow-ups, 15 nutcrackers, and customized arches he built himself.
I have 400 lights on each one.
He's even got a snow machine. Christmas brings out Brody's creativity.
Well, I do all the planning at nighttime when I'm like in my bed, and then I bring it to life, I guess.
These decorations are special to him. That's why when vandals struck, breaking his Santa Claus and his signs twice, he was devastated.
They just want to ruin Christmas, I guess.
This kid was heartbroken, wouldn't even talk.
But even the Grinch can't keep Brody down.
That night we came home and he literally had his toolkit, building it back up. My husband's like, throw it in the trash. Nope. Brody got out there and put it all back together.
Now Santa is reinforced with rebar. Well, that stinks that people mess with your display, but it's pretty sweet that you got everything back and fixed up.
Yup. Don't let them stop me.
Brody says after people messed with his decorations, his solution was to focus on his passion and add more decorations for people to enjoy. So this is biggest and brightest it's ever been.
Yeah, and then next year will be even brighter.
So what's next for Brody? Well, he wants to add more lights up to the roof of his house. He wants to make a giant arch across his entire street, and he's even started his own business called Christmas Light Express. You can hire him to fix up your display. Reporting in Macomb Township, I'm Scott Walchek on The Edge.